We spend so much of our time, modern day culture, arguing about what is the moral way to live? What is the ethical way? What is good, what is bad? And I've come to realize that I think the superior way to live is just to develop more self-awareness. Become more self-aware. Stop worrying about morals. Because often the debate around morals, even the debate about is there a universal moral law, right? Is there a moral law to the universe? Even that argument, and the fact it's an argument probably means maybe not. But the thing about those arguments is they often are derived from other people's morals, the collective morals, and they change throughout time, right? Back in history, they used to believe that the moral thing to do, generally speaking, was to burn women alive at the stake because they were witches, or to round up all the Jews and kill them because they were ruining society and so forth. And so morals change and they often fluctuate and the pendulum swings back and forth. And as much as I love Nietzsche, I kind of agree with Carl Jung that you can't really create your own morals. You can only really pick and choose which morals you want to abide by. But the debate about morals, as much utility there is in that, going deeper is the answer. Becoming more self-aware, more conscious. Everything you do in your life, you should be asking yourself, how does this make me feel? Why am I doing this? What's the reasons? Is this making me better? Why do I feel this way? What's the reason? Why do I think like this? Why am I experiencing this emotion? And constantly ask yourself these questions. Go deeper, become more aware. If everybody did this, there wouldn't really be much of a need for a debate around what is the correct way to live? What's the best way to live? What is the most virtuous path? Right? The left versus right debate, the political debate is just endless. Probably wouldn't be so loud. Because if almost all of us were more self-aware and asking ourselves these questions, why we do what we do and why we feel the way we feel, we'd be more content. We'd understand ourselves better. We'd live better lives. We'd be more attuned with ourselves and probably with each other. Because when we start to understand ourselves and what drives us, and our ambitions, our goals, our needs, why they occur, we understand other people much better as well. We develop more of a sense of empathy and understanding for one another. It's something that I've been thinking deeply about recently. And I'm convinced it is the superior approach. So whatever you do, right, whether it is weightlifting, bodybuilding, for example, you have to go deeper. Now, does this make you happier? Now, to a degree, it can make you more discontent initially. You can feel more uncomfortable. You can feel like you can see and feel all is wrong with the world. This is why so many people that consider themselves deep thinkers quite often, initially anyway, start off nihilistic. But you got to push through that. The only answer is to develop more awareness, go deeper, and you'll come through that. And you'll actually feel much more content and at ease with yourself and with life. And like I said, whatever you do, let me give you an example of two people doing the same thing. One is very aware, one is not. Because self-awareness really is the only game in town. Everything we do really is to serve this goal of becoming more aware, more conscious, whatever it is. So let's take someone who's a bodybuilder. Two people are bodybuilder. One is just a bodybuilder, just does bodybuilding. And the other does bodybuilding to serve this need of self-awareness. They look the same, right? They have the same body from the outer, but on the inside, totally, totally different. And the guy who's only just done bodybuilding eventually will come to a point where he feels very empty, a little bit lost, confused as to why he feels this way. Maybe he ends up depressed and so forth. And then the other guy who's done it to serve this purpose of self-awareness understands the reasons why he does what he does. And he doesn't need bodybuilding anymore, but he chooses bodybuilding. Or maybe he goes down to Bifprom, maybe he lets go of bodybuilding and goes to something else. It served its purpose or so forth. But let's say he's stuck to that. That person by the end of it is going to be far more content because he knows exactly why he's done what he's done, why he does what he does, why he enjoys it, the need for it, what it does to his body, how it makes him feel, and so forth. You see where I'm getting at here, guys? It's why you see people that have become quote unquote successful, right? They live in a mansion and they have the beautiful wife and they're driving the Lamborghinis and they end up shooting themselves. They're depressed because they haven't developed that self-awareness. They don't know really the real reasons why they've done that they've done. They've worked on the external, they've worked on the status to show everybody. Maybe that's what they thought they were meant to do and haven't really understand why they were doing what they do. So many people go through life with little self-awareness, asking themselves, why? Why do I do this? And then the next question, is it serving me? How does it make me feel? Do I need this? And yada, yada, yada. And as you develop more and more self-awareness and you go deeper, you ask yourself more questions, but you get to answer them. And I think a lot of problems in the world that we see today, a lot of the chaos and destruction and uncertainty is derived from a lack of awareness. And if we stop the focus centered around politics and left versus right, and this is good and this is bad, focused on our inner growth. Everything that we do externally is to serve the inner. We would be happier, healthier, more vitality, more content. We'd experience probably more progress in many ways. So it's definitely something to chew on. And I hope you chew on this idea and digest it and let me know what you think about this. Get commenting, guys. Is this a superior approach to the moral argument? Join me for the next video.